back now to KZN, where many families are still trying to recover the bodies of those washed away by the floods. It's now 9 days since the torrential rains caused widespread damage in the province. Let's go to senior reporter Siphamandla Goge, who's also following developments in Tongaat. Sipa, we know that in Tongaat specifically, that was an area that was badly affected. This has now obviously become a search and recovery operation and not necessarily to save people's lives. But I also see behind you that there's DA leader John Steenhuisen. What's he telling the media today?
Well, he's part of the Democratic Alliance delegation that is assisting residents and community members of Tongaat with water. People have been complaining about lack of water, electricity and other basic services since the floods hit. They've been saying they've been without water for a very long time. Now, John Steenhuisen and the leader of the DA in KwaZulu-Natal, Francois Rogers, are here to assist those who are struggling with water here. Let's get a word with this gentleman who has just collected 2, or should I say, this is 4 liters of water. Sir, thank you very much for your time. Talk to us about the water challenge here. You've told me earlier on that no one is helping you. What are your immediate needs?
Well, actually, from last week, Monday, on Tuesday, we had no water. We had nothing, no helping hands. And as for, the people around that where I'm living, they're all 60 years and over in age, and they are not well to wake up and go and look for themselves for help. And I was the one who was standing and helping and trying to get things. And as Dolly, she came as DA, she came 2 times or 3 times a week and supplied some water and meals for us. And as the tankers from the government side is nothing that we have got any receiving helping hand. Even at the homes, what we are staying here, at the housing department, they never even came up to see what really damage has been taking place. And we, as I said we are 60 years and over. Financially, we don't have enough. But as a helping hand, I think the government should stand and have a look at us, what really is happening. And as he says that he's going to do so much, and he's doing nothing at the moment for us. And people are here, they are dying with thirstiness of water, and we don't have any water. We're only receiving by 4 liters water for today. How long does it carry? We don't have a tanker, we don't have nothing. And these are old people, they're taking medications, they just wait for the water. And without the medication, they can't even take anything out of it. So we're asking for the help, to come and give us our help. We don't need a lot of things. We need to survive. That is all we are looking for surviving.
Okay.
And that is all we are looking for.
Okay.
Right.
May I please have your full first name and surname? Your first name and surname.
My name is Ramsanka Ken.
Okay, thank you very much for that. One of the citizens there mentioning the issue of water challenges here in Tongaat and the issue of electricity as well. DA leader John Steenhuisen is here. Thank you very much for your time. You've just delivered water. Talk to us about your intervention.
Well, obviously, I'm visiting the sites in Durban today and around the city where there's been a real devastation as regard to the floods. But here we're delivering water to a community that's been told they're not going to have water for 6 months. There's been no water tankers coming to this community. They've literally been living without water for the last 9 days. So we've been able to get some relief that we've paid for, and we're now distributing that. But also being able to go around. I was in Umhloti Beach this morning. We're going out to Umzinyati and Donanda now to meet with families who lost loved ones in the floods. But absolute devastation. But the big thing is what is going to be done to rebuild it now. And what I haven't seen on the ground here is a coordinated effort by the municipality, by the disaster relief agencies. And I'm really worried that there's communities that are just not seeing any intervention from any of the official sources. And the other thing that worries me is about, we've seen the feeding frenzy that the COVID-19 grant funding relief unleashed in South Africa, with even the president's own cabinet were dipping their hands into those funds. I want to be able to go to the debate that's taking place on Tuesday next week in Parliament to demand from the President what safeguards are going to be put in place to make sure that the money for this disaster is not finding its way into politicians' pockets.
If I hear you correctly, you are not happy with government's intervention on the ground.
No, I mean, there is very little intervention here. I accept there's a wide-scale problem, and it's a very, very serious problem, but people don't have water tankers. Surely, in a crisis like this, you're able to bring tankers in, you're able to get water out to these affected communities. It's not these disasters are not new in South Africa. We've had disasters before, but we never seem to learn the lessons. And what I'm not seeing is coordination. And I'm Mshloti Beach this morning, I didn't see a single municipal official, not a single municipal police vehicle. It's all being done by private contractors in the private community.
In defense of government and the municipality, they are saying in some of the areas bridges have been washed away, roads have been washed away, those areas are inaccessible, not all of them, but it's difficult to render that help to some communities because they are disconnected.
I was able to get here very easily this morning in just a normal double cab, so I don't know what the problem is getting a tanker into an area like this. Of course, there are going to be more remote areas that it's going to be harder to get to, but you've got to make a plan. In a time of crisis, people expect the government to come to their aid. It's the whole point of having a federal government, a national government, is to be able to assist in times like this. And what we're not seeing, I think, is enough of a coordinated and effective response.
What we are also not seeing is South African politicians and leaders talking more about climate change and its impact, which is very severe and visible. Moving forward, what is the DA saying about awareness campaigns regarding climate change?
Well, I think it goes to a far more nuts and bolts issue rather than climate change. It's how do we get our municipalities ready from an infrastructure level? Because what's very clear to me from what I've seen this morning is that there was an infrastructure failure as well. Infrastructure is too old, it hasn't been maintained. So let's get those basics right. And I was just saying, it's very sexy to cut open a combi court or a community hall. It's not sexy to open a sewage treatment plant or a stormwater outlet. But we need to make infrastructure in South Africa the primary focus of municipal government, because I think we could have avoided a lot of the damage that I've seen today with maintained proper infrastructure.
Especially if your home city, Durban, would have led from the 2017 and 2019 floods.
Absolutely. And 87, I mean, we've been in this movie many, many times before. I mean, I remember the Mgeni River bridge washing away when I was a youngster here in Durban. But we must learn these lessons and we must prepare. These weather events are going to become more and more prevalent with climate change, and we need to make sure we're prepared on the ground. And that starts by getting your infrastructure right.
Thank you very much for your time. That is the leader of the Democratic Alliance, John Steenhuisen.